Welcome back to Cruder.com. In this next video on logic formulas, we're going to be talking about the if statement and specifically comparison operators. Alright, so let's just go ahead and get started here with this test data table. And in this table we have name and salary, and actually these people's names, this is the cast of Modern Family. So if you're a fan, just a shout out to you. That's very cool. I am too. And Gloria saying that she makes $275,000 per episode. Now these are not real numbers, but let's go ahead and use them to write some formulas using these different types of comparison operators. The greater than, less thans, equal to, or not equal to. So let's get started. So if we get started by typing the first if statement using the greater than comparison operator by saying Gloria Pritchett, if she goes ahead and has a salary of greater than $300,000, then we're going to say that, man, she's overpaid. That's just way too much money. Otherwise, we're going to say that that's fine. That's okay. And since it's okay, or it returns okay, because obviously $275,000 is less than $300,000, we can easily show this by clicking on the logic test argument, and that highlights this piece of the formula. And while it's highlighted, if you press F9, the shortcut key for evaluating a formula, it will evaluate it. And that formula, that piece, let me press Control Z, this short formula evaluates to false. So then it skips over here to value if false and returns okay. So I'm going to hit enter, and just one thing to note is that since I didn't press Control Z to undo the evaluation using F9, now it's written in text. So it's no longer written as a formula. So I'm going to actually hit enter, Control Z a couple times so that it goes back to saying this formula, because I want a dynamic, I don't want it just static piece of data there. Alright, so let's just quickly go through these other comparison operators. They're pretty simple. So let's say if Jay Pritchett, if his salary is greater than or equal to $175,000, then let's just say that he's being overpaid as well, because that's a ton of money. Otherwise, it's okay. And he's being overpaid because this formula right here, I'm going to click on logic test, this argument, and evaluate it with F9, and it becomes true. So the formula then reads value if true, overpaid. I'm going to hit Control Z to undo that evaluation and switch this to saying less than, just less than 175, and he's okay. And that's because now the formula, if I highlight it by clicking logic test, pressing F9 and evaluating it, it says false. Go to OK, and it returns OK. If I have an equal sign there, he's overpaid now because it's less than or equal to. So let's evaluate it. It becomes true. So this is making sense. X out of here and come down to the equal to. Now when using the equal to comparison operator, you can use that on either text or a number. So let's use it on text. So if I say if Cameron Tucker, if that's equal to Cameron Tucker, then say this guy is really cool. Otherwise just say not cool and close it up. So this guy is really cool. And so obviously that he perfectly equaled to or evaluated this piece right here, the logic test. This perfectly evaluated to true because that's his name. It's Cameron Tucker, Cameron Tucker. And if you copied this up, Phil Dunphy, not as cool. Honestly, Phil Dunphy is pretty cool, but Claire, not so much. So the next thing is when it's not equal to something. So people usually forget that how to write not equal to in Excel. So it's a less than right next to a greater than sign. So we're going to say if this is not equal to, let's say, Cameron Tucker, then say great. Otherwise say okay. So it said great because it's not equal to it. If I take this and highlight the logic test, evaluate it with F9, it's true, meaning say great. So Mitchell Pritchett does not equal Cameron Tucker. That's how you read it. And if that's true, show great. Otherwise, show okay. Now the last thing I want to talk about is when a cell is equal to something blank or is not equal to something blank. And so we can type that by saying if this cell is equal to blank, or sometimes I just say nothing, meaning two double quotes. And notice that these double quotes, they're smashed right next to each other. So there's nothing in between here. There's no spaces, there's no typing. They're just sitting right next to each other. That's literally saying that there is nothing in this cell. So if that's true, then I want to return blank. Otherwise, not blank. And it comes back blank. Perfect. So the opposite of this is using the not equal to signs by saying less than or greater than. So it's this is not equal to blank. And if it's true, it'll be blank. If it's not true, it'll be not blank. So it says not blank based on how I wrote that. I kind of have it backwards, so this really should say, let's flip these, so blank and, or not blank and blank. There. So depending how your mind works and what you like, or how you like to think of things, if you want to think of it as equal to or not equal to, you can therefore evaluate or put the value of true and the value of false for that respectively.